Ethan, do you want to introduce yourself? Say hello. They're not pictured here, but they are a viewer that has been on for a long time. Super cool developer, and I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ethan, advocate watcher of Corbin. I had come across this error whilst making a Spotify app with Next.js, and we are currently trying to troubleshoot this.
Yep. So, yeah, feel free to ask questions, gang. Even though we are doing code review, we can probably answer some questions. But yeah, so it looks like it's only the player page. See, here's my problem: is like
Yeah.
with Gatsby, if it hits an error building page, it won't attempt to build another page. So I'm wondering if it'll be the same thing here. So what happens?
Oh, that makes so many errors.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same error, just repeating. This one is new.
Oh, fun.
Intermediate value is not iterable.
So, Murd,
That's
thank you
just
so much for following.
props.
Let's look at player. Actually, here's something. Let's comment out the JSX inside the player component. I'm almost wondering it. This probably isn't the case, but I'm almost wondering if there's an issue with like I don't know how Next.js handles like what's it called serialization. So it might be that maybe our data isn't serializable. But if that's the case, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, true.
Because that would be like a breaking functionality for a lot of things. So I don't know if that's the case.
Okay. Compile successfully. It's the same error over there. And same thing. So that looks like it's either going to be one of the parts up here.
What actually, you know what?
Which is just the loading.
Let's on line 32 add an like if true return.
If true, what do you mean? What we trying to look for, or we just actually?
No, yeah, literally just true. Like, and the only reason I'm saying if true rather than just the statement itself is because sometimes if you have if true, it won't throw like. They're really weird. There's compiler errors. But let's do like a return of like a paragraph tag. And say like hello or yeah, anything. Yeah. Let's make sure to save that file.
Did we not?
Okay, you did. Okay, my bad. You're doing stuff so quick I can't even catch it.
This was the compile, same error.
Okay, so I'm wondering if it's not actually relevant. This is really frustrating. This error page is not giving us enough context. Let's go look at what we might have wrapping it. Because I know that there's like the underscore app, right? So I'm wondering if it's not happy about something here.
The issue is all the other pages are loading.
Oh, they are?
If it was the wrapper, yeah.
Oh, that's so weird.
It's only the player endpoint that isn't working.
Objects are not valid. Player
All we're
profile.
doing is sending through the session within the layout, which includes, if I believe, the drawer and the toggle for it.
Yeah.
And then whatever else is on the page.
Let's go back to the player then. And just as a long shot, let's scroll down, like all the way down, and let's comment out everything that's in get server-side props. If this fixes everything, I'm going to be upset. And like, no, it doesn't. Okay, cool. I was like, man.
Let me take this. Take out that.
Default export is not.
It. I don't believe. Where do we set player? Do we not export? We are not exporting it. That's fine. We just export default.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. So let me read the docs really quickly for get server-side props. Because you know what's funny? I use Next.js at Hilton, and I just did not learn anything about it. It felt like my whole time they were like really adamant during the interview of like, hey, we use Next.js, you have to know Next.js. And then I just like never used it properly. Like we just used it like React, it felt like. So I will admit this is something that I've been like meaning to look into. If you export an async function, Next.js will pre-render this page.
So that's static props.
Right. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Just scroll down, I believe there's the server side at the bottom.
Get server side props. There we go. Okay, if you export async, it'll call that page. Next.js will pre-render this page on each request. Okay, so it is allowed to be async, which is good. Params, props, requires. It should be a serializable object. That's what I see. I knew it was going to be a serialized issue. Okay, so that's what your issue is. Your issue isn't with JSX, and this is a really, really bad error on their part. They need to they need to like fix the error message here because that's a really bad error. So what's happening is that I'm assuming under the hood with Next.js, what they're doing is they're passing your props and rendering them on screen somehow in like a weird build process way. Or maybe they're using render to string, something along those lines. And the idea is that you can't have a promise or anything like that. You have to have serialized data. So let's uncomment out this default export. And let's remove those returns for now. So like let's do a return on line 150 between 105 and 106, and let's just do a return of empty object. Awesome. And let's do a console log of session, current track, and current device.
Now the error comes back. But do we get any console logs?
Yeah, that's the part that I'm curious about.
I mean,
actually,
I don't understand why it keeps doing this. There's so many errors just repeating.
Yeah, it's like it seems like their error. I'm assuming you're using the most up-to-date version of Next.js, because these are errors that like usually the React ecosystem is really, really good with their error handling. So I'm almost surprised by how bad these errors are. So also, what's up, Bob Ross?
Right. So it doesn't come back. Same error.
I'm wondering. Let's go look at our VS Code really quickly, because I'm wondering if we're hitting the return on line 1. That doesn't make any sense, but what if we're hitting the return on line 84? Or we're getting an issue? What if we try wrapping...
That's what I was thinking. It might not be the session coming back from here, from the get session.
So let's add some more console logs.
Stuff.
Let's add a console log here that says, like quotes. So let's add quotes at the beginning of the thing. Yeah, perfect. So like let's do session just so that we know what we're looking at, right? And then that should log. That's fine. And then let's wrap everything in a try catch. It's kind of what I want to try to do.
Everything in the
yeah, just to be safe. Excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. We'll move all that in.
I'll have to pull all of it in because that return will happen.
And then let's add a console. Yeah. So like catch E or error, whatever we want to call it. And let's do a console dot warn, something like that, because I assume that some of these things have like, if you throw actual console errors, it'll like fail in weird ways. Yeah, let's do that. And then let's also do a return inside that catch of just an empty object. So, also, Bob Ross, no, you didn't mention that. Actually, I can't remember if you had mentioned that you started learning Python or not. I think you may have. But that's really cool. Python has some really cool... I really wish that list comprehension was part of JavaScript, because that is a neato burrito idea. So, all right.
Okay. Same error.
And no console logs.
None. Nope, it would come up here. Oh, that's strange.
Yeah. What a... I know what we're doing wrong. Can you go look at the, like, app.js or profile or anything like that?
Profile.
Okay, I see what's going on. You're not... okay. So, scroll down to where you're exporting profile, right? You see how you're doing export async function get server-side props and export default profile?
Yes.
What we're doing is we're exporting the function, and that function NextJS assumes is a component and is trying to render a function, a non-TypeScript function, into the DOM. So let's go back to our code and let's undo everything I just had us do. Like let's just undo all that. But my bad. I knew I was missing something, but I'm glad we tried that, because at least it was. So instead of export default, you also probably want to remove the early return. 114, yeah. So instead of export default, this function, we'll do export async. And then we can scroll down and export default player. Awesome. Hopefully that fixes it. Also, Bob Ross, I don't think I'm that smart. I've just been around the block. I've made these mistakes too many times. That's all it really is. Okay.
Now we get this one.
Okay. But we can work with that. That's something we can work with, because at least that... I understand what that error is saying. That error is saying that you're trying to do an array destructuring on this A-weighted result, but there is no... It's not an array that you're returning from that A-weight. So,
okay.
So, are you using get session anywhere else?
Probably at the top here.
Oh, also, we probably want to get rid of the if true here.
We're only using use session here, and the get sessions at the bottom here.
Right. So, can you show me did you write get session, or is that from something else?
That's from the auth provider.
Okay. From what is it? Oh, next auth. Okay. Let's take a look at those docs really quick.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, take your
I'll
time.
be back in a moment.
Okay, so next auth. Let's look at get session. Okay, cool. So session looks like it we don't need to destructure it. So hopefully that'll work out. See, admittedly, I actually feel a bit silly that I missed that one so early, Bob Ross, because I've made that exact mistake like 18 times, and that error message was actually pretty indicative of what the error was. I wasn't understanding what it was saying, so that's on me. That's not on NextJS. That's why I was really surprised. I'm like, man, I would have sworn that Next.js would have given you a warning about serializable data, like Gatsby does that, and like I think even the next React server-side component stuff do that. So I was like really surprised that they weren't handling that error state. So I'm glad that we were able to figure that one out. So this is actually like kind of going on an aside. This is actually one of my frustrations about like not just Next.js, but any type of implicit data handling of like file-based routing. Hey, I'm just going on a quick rant about tooling. But one of my frustrations about file-based routing and other types of like magics in programming is that it's really, really, really easy to miss those types of mistakes. And because it's super easy to miss those types of mistakes, because you're not explicitly calling things, so you can't overwrite the functionality. I don't know. It's just a weird pet peeve. So by the way, instead of use session equals blah blah blah, it's just const session. I believe, because get session is different than use session. So use session is a hook, and I think you're probably using it correctly there. But get session does not return an array; it returns just the session itself. So you're doing things right on line 30. But then down in the get server side props, we need to remove those. It's just const session without the braces. So, and that's just the difference between hooks versus non-hooks. So,
data.json is not a function.
Okay. So let's figure out what data is. Let's console log data.
There
Okay.
it is. 204, and this is just all the information I get back from Spotify. Wait.
That looks like session though, doesn't it? So let's scroll up a little bit. Yeah, because that's session, but then after session. So it's a console log that comes right after that.
Oh, okay, so that's what we were doing before. This was up here. This
Right,
thing here.
right.
So session does come back.
Yep, which is cool. Very cool.
That is very cool.
And then this
again.
looks like, so it's dot body. So it's not dot JSON, it's dot body. And it doesn't seem like it needs to be a method that's called. Cool.
This not key to return from the server side props.
Nested under the props key. Okay, so let's go look at the props that we have.
Contract and current device.
So it seems like we need to nest this inside of return and then the keyword props and then these objects.
Okay, so how would I go about doing that? Sorry.
So let's remove that console log. We probably don't need it anymore, and it'll just like bloat our console. And then let's look at that error message one more time. Let me refer to the docs also as well, really quick. Yeah. So we just need to nest. So you see how they're returning props title context? We need to like put the key props as the parent around session and playback.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yep. Perfect. And then you can probably like auto format to have that look a little bit prettier.
We have it loading.
Awesome. Very cool. Also, I think I see a slight problem. Let's scroll up to look at your props. So you see how they're current track, current device error code, right? So if you scroll down, you notice that you're not returning the data that way. You're returning in the get server side props. You're returning the data as props playback. So if you just cut out the playback and just have it as props session current track current device, I think that's going to be closer to what you're looking for. Awesome. Also, do Control-Shift-P in format. Yep.
I was literally about to do that.
Sorry, it was like it had the little alarms going off in my head. So, Bob Ross, what is he making? He's making a Spotify player. So the ability to play your music from Spotify and like see your soundtracks and everything else, which is super hype. So.
Okay, item is seen as undefined, so that means that this must not be returning correctly.
Right.
So what we should do is check in here what to be returned.
Right. Keep in mind, you also have the console log on 89.
Which one, sorry?
Console log inside of the current track.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see what you mean. I'll let it return and we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
See what
makes
it
sense.
says.
So memory serving, I think that its current track is going to be undefined. Because that's what I seem to recall. Yeah.
Track goes back.
So are you playing anything on Spotify right now?
Good point. Okay.
I think we may need to restart the build. Oh, we did? Okay.
Track type. Maybe if I refresh it one more time. There it is. There is. Telling me the current track isn't. Okay. So it is
Current track.
Returned.
So current track is being returned. An item is there too. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. So let's go back to our code. And so we know current track is being built there, right?
Right.
But let's also console log current track in the player itself, the component, right?
Okay. We can use the use effect for that.
Yeah, we can do that. Another streamer I know is building this awesome React Spotify player, and it's all React and CSS art. Nice, very cool. Remember, you probably want to have the dependency array.
What do you mean? Sorry.
So the second the first property of
Oh.
the use effect is the function, and the second. Yep, exactly.
There we are.
You need to add current track into that dependency array.
Do I? Oh.
Because otherwise, if that current track updates, it'll not update the
it's on
use
every
effect.
time. Okay.
Right. That'll be in your browser itself.
Will it?
Yeah.
Oh yes, you're right.
Because your use effect only runs on the browser, not during server side anything.
Side.
Yep. So
yeah.
Interesting. Cannot access property item.
Creature.
Let's go look at
What's that?
Hang on. Let's go look at what's actually being passed here. Okay, so that's in player panel, right?
Yep.
Oh, actually, let's look at it because it could be currently playing or player panel. Let's go look at the error and see what component this is coming from specifically.
Error message. Oh, what's that? Well,
I wouldn't worry quite so much about that. But it's in currently playing.
As in currently playing.
Okay, so let's go open up currently playing.
We're getting passed in current track, which we're then looking at the item for.
Why is it called drawer item? It shouldn't matter because it's default exported, but we might want to change that just for the sake of completeness.
Yes, you're a great point.
Totally doesn't. It shouldn't impact code though.
No.
I was just something I noticed. Current track. We should be passing that, right? So let's go look at our player.
Sorry, do I go back to the actual player?
Yeah, sorry, the page. Oh, so there's your problem. You're passing it.
We're passing in track, not
exactly.
Track.
Yep. So.
Yeah. I want to check that over here as well.
I think you're doing the same thing. Yeah. Keep in mind, device is also incorrectly named.
Yep.
So.
Where are we in the player profile? Let me pass in this. That. We do not need this anymore. Do that. Let me pass in.
Nice.
Device.
And then keep in mind that's also called drawer item. I make this. This is one of the reasons why, like, I don't let myself use default exports very often. Although it totally makes sense in a NextJS app. I'm just a little like, I always forget to rename them, and then I have like the name. Why is your component named component 1812? Like, what? What are you talking about, dude? So
device there is undefined.
Yep.
Where was that? That was in the player panel.
I would leave that commented out for now. Line 31. Because we had that commented out before. Let's see if we can get it rendering first without errors. And then move on. Awesome. Very cool. The UI is looking great, by the way. I love the little hover effects and like the shadows and stuff. It's very nice. Very, very nice.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's go get that device thing running now. So since we already have a use effect, right? Let's go console log what current device is in the player page.
Player.
So instead of,
Current device instead. Am I passing in device correctly over here? Current device.
Yep. Seems like. Okay. And then keep in mind 34. Yep, there you go. Perfect.
One device is passed in. Oh, devices.
Oh, okay. So it'll be on currently playing. Well, so keep in mind. Oh yeah, it is an array. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yay! Wait, where's the? Oh, we commented out and then we didn't uncomment it.
Didn't uncomment it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quote, when I have variables in Python, I normally just use the same variable but add something to it. Can't be bothered to change. Yeah, I feel that. So.
There it is, but it's hidden at the minute.
That's okay. It's rendering for now, right? We can fix that.
Yes, it is. I believe we've done it.
Sweet. So let's commit where we are currently. The other thing that I'm going to recommend is that once we commit, let's go ahead and add an if statement. That's basically, hey, there's nothing playing right now. So then that way you're not thrown off by when it errors out and you're not playing something. And then there's all sorts of refactoring stuff I'd love to like walk through if you still have time.
Yep, perfect. That's fine.
Awesome.
Right, that's been pushed. Sorry, what did you want me to change now?
So let's go into our player page and let's add like an early return if there isn't a device or isn't a currently playing song.
Okay.
Just because that was something that we ran into earlier and it kind of threw off our like, we just weren't sure if it was working.
Should we do it as well?
Yeah. So you could do if not current track or not current device. Yeah. Sweet. And it can just be as simple as for now, like you can style it later, but for now let's just do like return, nothing playing.
Can't spell.
No worries, I can't spell either. What I'm notorious for like sending messages on Discord and then Googling how to spell something and then coming back and edit the message. And I'm just like, shh, you saw nothing.
I can't check if that works due to the fact that Spotify takes a while to seize it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like not doing anything.
Okay, makes sense. So, but at least we know it's there, Shadow, what's up? So yeah, let's see. I'm the overcommitter that would have even commit that. But that's up to you. I'm fine either way. So one of the things that I noticed while looking through the code base is let's look through like the profile page.
Sure.
Yeah, so you can see that there's a lot of like style sheets that are being injected here. But my argument is that they're already being injected in app.js.
Yes, I don't need them.
Right. So, and then the head should probably stay because that'll update the title, right? And that makes sense. But yeah, I think we should probably, and I think there might have been a few other places where that was the case. I can't remember. Was that on the player as well? Yeah.
Oh, yes, it were.
Okay, cool.
Yep, fine.
Yeah, so that's that. And then loading else if session. So that's interesting. What are we doing with the check if session is in play?
On what page?
Player,
page
yeah.
I guess on player we're just sending, we're just checking.
Oh, if it's loading.
if else they're protected, but I don't think I've updated this page yet due to the erroring. I did create a solution for it here,
Okay.
where we were doing it over here, which if there was no session,
Mm-hmm.
if there wasn't, we return the props, the error code, and the error message. And then if there's an error code, then we're returning the error component, which passes in the code and the message.
Makes sense. Yeah, very cool.
And then the error is... Let's look. Just a button that tells you the error, and it sends you to the home page
Okay,
with
makes sense.
the queries.
Nice. Very nice. So one of the things that I'm noticing is that it's super minor, but I figure I'll mention it. You're doing a lot of else ifs. So if you're doing a return inside of an if statement, you actually don't necessarily need the else. And that's just up to you.
Just put the ifs.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, to be clear. There's totally not. But if you're doing early returns, people tend to just have ifs. And then that way, like, once you format it, they'll be, like, more flat. But that's more of a code preference thing I figured I'd mention in case if that was something you were looking for. Because, see, now you have, like, a line between them, so it's more, like, visually distinct where things are happening, and you can add comments and stuff. But again,
fine.
That's more of a nitpick than it is anything. So, profile. Actually, something. This is also pretty getting a little nitpicky.
Absolutely fine with it.
What you could do, it seems like you're using the same head and div and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you could do.
Put that in the layout.
Maybe. But what I'm thinking is instead of having because you can have multiple layout files, right? So for example, in Unicorn utterances, we have the whole page layout, which applies like global CSS and like SEO and some other stuff. But then we also have like the blog list layout, which has like specific styling for just that. So I'm wondering if we want to because you can define more than one function or more than one component in the same page. So I'm wondering if we want to do like a function profile layout. And it would just be as simple as accepting a child prop, and then we'd build it on line 9 through 10 and then just reuse that.
We can do. I'm not too certain on how you mean.
So let's pretend that we're building a component between lines 9 and 10.
Okay.
Let's call it profile layout. You probably want to do capital P. And then you have one argument, which is going to be children, because that's passed by React itself. And then you can return the head object. You can return that div that's used to contain things, because it looked like the div was pretty similar between those. I would probably just copy and paste from like 25 to 28.
But missing out this or with it?
You can copy with the main, but we're going to delete it. So.
Okay.
But you do want the containing div. Sorry. I was a little unclear there. My bad. And then let's replace that main. Yeah, but let's replace that with rendering children.
Okay.
So.
Do it just for children.
Yep, perfect. And then now all we do is we remove all the code in the loading return except for the main, and we replace it with one profile layout. Yep, so we can remove that, and we can remove all the class names in the div.
Oh, okay.
And then we're basically replacing that div with the profile layout with the main as a child.
I see.
Perfect. And then that's it. So you can do the same thing for the session page. Or for the session boolean.
So I'll just bring this over.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just put it both here.
And I don't know if the class names were the same. I admittedly didn't take a close look at it. But then this way you don't have to worry about duplicating your head and duplicating a lot of those other things. So.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
then we can just take out this part here. Oh wait, no, it's
You need that main still.
the div that one.
Yep. But keep in mind, you need the main as a child, so you need to wrap that. Yep, perfect. And then you can get rid of that head.
Okay, yes.
Yep, perfect.
There we go.
And then we'll do the same thing. No, so the children's only needed in... The reason why we have children is because this main is now the children that's being passed into the player layout. So that's what children is doing, is that the children is rendering the main. So Shadow asks, is there a term for what we just did, redacting and redundancy? I think it would still be appropriate to call it a layout component. It's just not an application-wide layout component. But yeah, I don't know if there's a better term for I'm terrible with technical terminology. But yeah, we did reduce redundancy, and we were able to break out our JSX into a separate component. So just making things a little more componentized. So yeah. So we're doing that in the loading, but we can also replace it in the session as well.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so you want to remove this, that,
Yep.
this.
Yep. What's up, Snake? Perfect. And you can do the same thing with the player, not the player page,
Profile.
the profile page. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean.
So this is really clean, by the way. Like I know I'm making some nitpick suggestions, but this is like really, really, really clean. This is really good. Rave Queen, welcome. So, yeah, Snake, you're always so I'm doing the code review today with Ethan, but if anyone else ever wants to set up a time to do code review, either on stream or off stream, always available. Happy to do it. So, just as long as you don't get me sued because you broke your NDA, just don't get me sued and we're good. So yeah, okay. Awesome. Let's take a look at app.js just to see, because since we're already looking through TSX stuff.
Well, I'm injecting the links.
I see. That's definitely a way of doing it. My only thing that I'm not a huge fan of is that you're depending on a CDN, which apps do from time to time. But you're already like the use cases where I see CDNs are most useful. Is when you're doing client-side builds. So like you're hosting on GitHub pages, something along those lines, right? But you're already using NextJS, which actually, are you using the export functionality or are you using the server-side rendering functionality?
Server-side rendering.
Okay, so since you're doing the server-side rendering, usually you want to have like internal like dependencies. And then that way you're not having to worry about, oh, now I have to go make all these network requests, so on and so forth, since you're already relying on the server speed. Yeah. And the other thing is that CDNs used to have an advantage where like, oh, your browser will cache your CDN calls, and then it will reuse that cache on multiple different websites. And this is why people, in fact, I even used to advocate for using Google to host your fonts and then just go grab those fonts. Excuse me. The problem is that in Chrome 86, they actually killed that functionality. Now there's no cross-origin resource cache sharing. So as a result, there's now no reason basically to do any of that. So I'm wondering if instead we can move these into imports. Let me Google. I want to say Next.js has CSS imports. It does. Okay. Let me look through the docs really quickly. Perfect. So you have Shoelace Style downloaded, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, no, I don't have it installed. No, I've got it linked. That's all I've got.
Okay. I thought you had it in your npm file.
Let me check.
I might be
installed.
wrong. Oh, you have
no,
React Wrapper.
I've got the React Wrapper. I don't need this anymore because I realised that this doesn't even need to be here because it still works without it.
I would leave it for now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I'll take a look at the React Wrapper off stream because I was looking at it a little bit and it seems like it's pretty useful. But I also don't know if Next.js has the same issues with what am I thinking of? Dependency passing to custom elements. Because that's the reason why that's there. And I think I even saw it being used on some of your buttons. So I would leave that. But let's go ahead and install shoelace style shoelace as the package on NPM.
Okay. Now this is where the issue came in for me because I didn't know what I was doing with it.
Mm-hmm.
What would you? Do you know what the dependency is called?
It's at shoelace style. You can actually see it in your link here. Shoelace style / shoelace. So if you see an at the beginning of an NPM package, that's an NPM organization. And then the / indicates which package within that organization you're accessing.
Okay. So do I want to put this as dev dependency?
I wouldn't.
No, it's gonna get built.
Yeah. Usually I keep dev dependencies for like testing utilities and build tools and developer tools. But anything that gets included in my build, I will keep separate. So.
Okay.
Truth be told, it doesn't really matter on packages like this, but in libraries it matters a lot more. So.
Okay.
And then now that we have that installed, let's go ahead and do a side-by-side screen. Let's have one side of the screen looking at this link and the other side at the top of this file.
Okay.
Man, that did not do what you did make sense, but then it wasn't having any of that.
What? I'll close all these. Yeah.
Sorry about that. All right. So yeah, I just want to be able to see what we're actually importing. So let's scroll over to the left so that we can see what the name of the files are.
Which one, sorry?
On the left side, let's scroll to the left.
Left side, scroll to the left.
Sorry, to the right. I forgot which way was left. Okay, perfect. So let's do, if we look at their documentations, if you want to look at my screen really quickly, you can see that they support just doing import a CSS file, right?
Okay.
So let's do that with these CSS files that are present. So we'll do import, and then quotes at shoelace, and then and then / shoelace.css.
Oh wait, do we go into this?
Yes.
Are we just following this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll probably not do autocomplete because you're doing a CSS file, but it should still be there. And then let's do the same thing with dark.
Well, wait a minute then. With dark, we are themes.
And then let's do the same thing with... I'm wondering what the ESM does. Can you do me a favor and actually look? Can you open that .cdn file in your browser?
Oh no,
Perfect. Ooh.
Okay, we have a lot.
Here. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Right there. Import.
Do you have it prettier?
Here.
I think we have a prettier on there.
I'm being a bit lazy. Let me go look at the documentation for shoelace.
That's fine.
Oh, poop. Of course, Googling shoelace gives me, surprisingly, shoelaces.
I've had that issue.
Bootstrap is so popular that you don't have to worry about that anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. CDN. It's interesting that they recommend CDN. I guess it's because it's simpler. npm shoelace style. Well, that's a pain.
Yeah.
I don't want to use Webpack. Webpack is poopy. And also, we can't use Webpack with Next.js. Next.js replaces Webpack because it's a server-side renderer. Okay, here. Shoelace Next.js. Yeah, parcel all the way. Exactly.
You're not going to find anything here.
Oh, you think. I believe you. Alternatives to shoelace. Well, fine. I didn't want to read the documentation anyways. Okay.
I'm trying to think. Usage is where you see the React version.
Sorry, what?
On the navigation on the left, the usage, it shows you different libraries you can use on the website.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Usage. React. Doesn't play nice with... Right. This is what I was talking about with the React wrapper, right? Mm-hmm. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see if they have... So, this esm.js file, right? What it's saying here is essentially like, include this package... Actually, you know what? I'm going to cheat. I'm going to read the code myself. But basically what it's saying is, like, include all of the packages, like all the everything. Import from PJS, import
so
module.
It just imports all the other ones anyway.
Right. It looks like it's importing everything, which, import assets, SDL. Hang on, so CSS is using the style loader, which we don't need to worry about. Copy package from icons. Shadow, you say it's minified. I can read minified code. It is a superpower of mine. I have read so much minified code that, baby, I live in it. Hang on. Where do icons even come from? Also, yes, Bob Ross, I do recommend using the formatter minify. He's got mini vision. He's like Neo with the minified code. No, I'm just stupid. Okay, request animation frame. So this is handling like all of the like setup stuff. These, I'm assuming, are dealing with dispatch events. Okay, so this is pretty standard, and there's no other imports going on here. Yeah, so, there's a dynamic import of Entry.Js. Okay. Are you using any of the icons?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Fine. I'll go figure out how to do this. Copy assets. Static file serving. Imagine writing that on a single line. Hang on, I gotta show chat that I know what I'm doing with minified code. I made working code fit in a tweet, goddammit. And don't ask me why I did it, because I can't answer that, but I did it once. Here we go. Nope, is that it? Nope, hang on. I'm sorry. This should only take a second. I realize I'm getting tangented here. Type trip, 16 lyrics, object helpers. Here we go. This even explains what this code does. Merry Christmas, chat. And a Happy New Year. Look at this beautiful line of code. It is one line of code. It says it's 2 lines of code, but it is...
my eyes.
It's 1 line of code. ... P ... Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Good JavaScript.
Hey, those are descriptive keywords, okay? They told me everything I needed to know. Okay. Make a gist and link a tweet. Oh, I didn't actually link the tweet, I think. Anyways, so what I'm thinking about doing is So this all looks normal. None of this looks like it's too out of place or that it's going to be too difficult. The part that I'm concerned about is this, because we need to host our icons from dist/icons. And I'm trying to figure out, because Webpack, you would do that with the copy plugin, right? But Next.js has to have something for that.
NextJS has got Webpack features in it.
Really?
I don't think I have it here. It does. You can put it in the config. I don't have it on me at the minute.
No
but,
way.
I
didn't know that. Okay.
I do have Webpack options.
Here, Next.js copy asset plugin. Is it copy asset? It's it's copy plugin.
Yeah, custom Webpack.
Here. There we go. See, I didn't know. Perfect. Cool. This makes our job very easy. Quote, why not use font awesome instead of what's keeping shoes from sliding off my feet? That was very funny. It looks good. Plus, if you're going to use like a library, I mean, stick with that library, right? There's no need to really like add on to it. So let's do, since it's functionality. Okay, so yeah, let's add the Webpack method. This is inside of Next.js. Yeah, so let's add the Webpack property keyword thing. I'm really losing it today. I'm sorry. So right on line 18, you'll type in Webpack, and then it'll be a function, so colon, and then an arrow function. The first property of that arrow function will be config. Sorry, the argument, the first argument will be config.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. And then let's do Config.Plugins.Push.
Config.Plugins.Push.
You probably want to make this an arrow or put braces around it.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah. And then push, you want to push this. Let me send this to you on Discord. There you
go. What is this? Is this a method?
So, oh, no, this isn't a method, but you push this, so the whole example would look something like this. Config.plugins. The full example would look like this.
Okay.
I've used over 14 CSS libraries in one HTML document and used every class. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, sometimes projects be that way. And then before the last return, you need to do return config. So like right between the blue and the purple at the very end there. Yeah.
On my return, sorry, config.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome. And then finally, I'm just double checking we're doing this right. Perfect. So that'll do it. And then finally go into your underscore app. So what this is going to do is this is going to move all the icons from node modules, so on and so forth, into /icons is what it's going to do.
Okay.
We actually might need to configure this because I don't know if dist was correct, but we'll leave it for now. And then let's comment out link, and like these three. Yep, let's comment that out, but let's not delete them yet. And then we need to add this to the top of the file. Hang on. We actually, let's get a list of all the SL components you're using.
Oh God.
I know that's going to be such a pain. It should be as easy as doing a complete. So do Control Shift F. Yeah, perfect. And then SL dash. And then, so there's SL spinner. Here, again, I'll start taking notes. Spinner, theme, icon, button,
drawer, menu divider.
What was the menu divider?
That is.
Okay.
And then I believe that was 8.
Okay, perfect.
Arrange.
Oh, arrange? Okay.
Range.
All right. So let's yeah. Let's go ahead and go from here. So let's add in that yep, perfect. And then after the comma on line 12. Yeah. After the SL drop down, let's also find SL spinner. Perfect. And then SL theme. Is SL theme a thing? Hang on. I gotta go find it now.
Oh, it's because I was doing the capitalization wrong.
What was it importing? Does it like auto correct to SL theme though?
Yeah, and then we add icon.
Okay.
We already imported button, drawer. Drawer.
SL menu divider. And then range.
So,
awesome. And then we need to do, I know this is such a pain, we need to do custom elements not defined for every single one of those.
cool. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So this is frustrating because, obviously you're having to duplicate all this. But the good news is that this will make your app faster because you're shipping down less of the shoelace code and you're only shipping down what you're actually using.
That's fine with me.
The downside is that now you have to remember. So
I'll remember to add each time.
Right, exactly. So
that's absolutely fine with me.
And what we'll do, I want to make sure we actually change this because this is kind of ugly and it's like in the way, right? But we're going to make sure that this works first and then we'll address it later. So
cool. Drawer, menu divider. I need to get on the dash.
awesome. You're breezing through this super quick.
No, I'm not. This is quite slow.
Well, you're doing it faster than I would. So you get credit there.
And we don't need that one. That's all of them.
Yep. And also I found out it's not dist, it's static. So in your Webpack config, line 22, instead of dist, let's do static.
Thank you.
Yep. So, and that was just I just Googled it. So it's not like there's any insightful wisdom there, except for Google. Google is insightful wisdom.
I mean, you've got the knowledge to know how to find it. That's what every developer needs to know.
Fair enough. All right. So let's see if this works, and if I didn't break your whole app in like 5 minutes,
Commented.
which would have been an awesome speed run for like how quickly can we break someone else's app, because breaking my own wasn't good enough today. Snake, thank you for the compliment. Said very good stream, guys.
Oh no.
Okay, so I know copy plugin isn't defined, but what if, right? Consider. No. So what we do is again, utilizing the googs. So do config, comma, and then object destructure. Sorry. Yep, right at the beginning. And then object destructure. Sorry. What I mean by that is add like the curly braces. There's a second
options.
Yeah. Well, so I call it object destructure because that's actually what it is. So what the curly braces here means is that the second parameter that's being passed to this function is an object, and by using these curly braces, we can grab specific parts of that.
I see what you mean. I see what you're doing.
And then let's type in webpack, and then instead of new copy thing, it'll be new webpack.copy thing. Perfect.
Path is not defined.
Oh, right. Okay, we need to go back. My bad. So that's because we're using path.resolve. So that's as simple as up there, do const path equals require path. And that's from Node. So, yep, there we go.
Fingers crossed.
Well, how do you do? Webpack copy plugin is not a constructor because I don't know what it's saying there. Hang on. No, I'm so confused. I have too many tabs. Components thing. Dag nabbit, I closed it. Installation. Using copy plugin. Where does... Oh, okay. I'm stupid. So what if instead of doing what I said to do, we didn't do what I said to do, and instead we did the right way to do it? So you can do and then remove the webpack dot because we don't need that evidently. My bad.
Hey.
All right. Hopefully that do. Well.
Can I find module?
Well,
we just add it?
Yeah, let's just do yarn add. Man, cheese whiz. Anyone? Okay, random topic. Does anyone remember Cheese Whiz? Was good stuff. I know people will disagree with me, but that was good stuff. What in God's name does that mean?
I don't know.
You know what I'm gonna turn to? This is gonna be a big shocker.
Now, why don't you be unique and use Bing?
The what?
Bing.
Hey, look, Bing is a very useful developer tool when Google's down.
Be honest, have you ever used Bing to search up an error?
I have used Bing to search maybe 2 things ever.
Point case served.
Oh. Okay. So install copy webpack plugin version 6.2. So look at your yarn add command. And don't rerun it, but hit at 6.2.1. Apparently the new version is for Webpack 5.
Maybe progress.
Your Yarn install is super upsettingly fast. I don't know if you have internet that is divine sent by God, but it is too fast. That is my professional opinion. Well.
Document.
Okay, I'm stupid. I knew better than this. Right. How are we going to do that?
We can check if it's I don't know if this is going to do it. We can check if the document is server side or client side by doing that weird if statement, checking if document's undefined, and then we say it's either on the server or the client. Don't know if that would help at all, but I've seen that a lot.
My frustration there is that now we're not using server-side rendering. And there's no point of using Next.js if we're going to do that.
It's a true point.
Let's do it. Let's test it and see if we can get it compiling first. And if we can, like, I'll kind of look into how we can fix that in my own time, basically.
Okay. Do you know how to do it?
No. Next.js check running. Check if server. Yeah. If process.browser.
And then what?
And we move everything from 18 to 25 into there. And then hit save. Come on, build.
This is where I wish that Next had a build like Nox, where it just shows the bars, but increases process.
Right.
It's not defined. It's not defined.
What was it?
I suppose process, or is it?
It's that.
Single
Yep.
C or the two C's? Is it 1C?
I think it's 1C.
Okay.
Watch this fail. It'd be just my luck. Do you need to reload the page to start the build? I honestly don't know. That was more of like a sincere question.
Oh.
That wasn't me like reminding you.
Wait.
Hey!
No.
What the fuck is happening? No, you know what's happening. It is built properly, but now we are getting client errors. So let's go find out what those jolly good client errors are.
401.
Hooray!
That's where it's. Oh, that's the auth. That's breaking.
Well, but shouldn't
authorization's now breaking?
But shouldn't
in the app it's trying to provide it through the authentication provider. But it's giving me a 401.
But
because of something.
Very helpful, thank you.
Great. I don't think I'm going to be able to check what that error is either.
Shouldn't something be showing though, even if it doesn't like? So let's look at our console.
Profile.
Ed, I can't close that. There's nothing to close. This isn't my window. This is our guest's window. You can redeem or refund yourself. Yeah, there we go. Document.current script is null, which is cool. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
Guest, please close. No. Bad Ed. Okay, guess let's go look at just hi Ed. Yeah, that's right. Okay, hi Ed. Yeah, Ed, where's the go girl emoji, huh? What's up, Lumjacker? Okay. Current script is null. Fine, we'll fix this problem before we... God damn it. I didn't want to have to fix this problem so soon. But I guess we have to. Set asset path.
Oh, so you saw the issue beforehand but didn't realize to mention it.
Huh? Well, I thought the problem is that current script is failing because it's server side. It doesn't like me, is what it is. It wants to embarrass me on stream, and it's doing it successfully. So what is... Hang on. We'll hover over set asset path. Let's read what it says. Use to manually set the base path. If the script is used as a module, no thank you. Using a blunder's replace to set the build path. What if we just did /static?
Sure.
And then pretended that things are going to work, even though we know they won't.
Digging ourselves a deeper hole here.
The what?
A bigger hole. We're digging ourselves one.
Exactly. See, most people would hear, oh, Corbin's worked 8 hours of programming already, and assume that that means that I know what I'm doing, but in reality...
We got
hey,
something.
No. URL static is not a valid URL. That's neato burrito.
Extra boost from the server type inside. What? Oh, SL button.
Don't know what that means. Static is not a valid URL. Right. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
The button's still there, the icon isn't. The buttons still work and they're still showing.
Hey, that makes me... That's why it's not showing, is because it's /asset. Oh, interesting.
The icons aren't showing, that's the issue.
Right.
Sorry.
I think that'll be easy. Hang on. Get asset path NextJS. Base path. None of this is useful. Without rebuilding values, blah, 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 blah. For example, doing this will this. Just make sure, but what if I want it? This feature was introduced. Next.
Now, would this be an issue? Do you want to look at my screen? You see how it goes from this to shoelace to icons?
Right.
But we're sending it to static icons. Should not be static shoelace icons.
Well, so what it's doing is it's moving all the files from one place to the other. And what it should be looking for... So this is why the icons aren't showing up, is because on line 15... set asset path. Actually, let's just test my theory. Let's type in HTTP localhost 3000 /static.
That's convenient.
Yeah. This is not what we should do long term, but I want to see if it fixes the problem.
I'll rebuild.
No worries.
Just to make sure.
To deploy a subpath, do the thing. Okay, let's see what the errors are. Okay. Extra
So client
attributes.
fetch, that's fine because that's just trying to do stuff with the authentication. It's there.
Scroll down. I don't think it's that. I think that's something different. Let's look at... there we go. Why is it looking for icons there? It shouldn't be looking for icons there. Oh! Do me a favor. Let's type in your browser localhost, like copy that URL for door opening or any of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, open URL. And type in static /icons. Or static /icons, sorry.
Aha.
That's what it is.
So, we're doing /icons? No.
Hang on. Let's look at their docs. Set icon path.
Oh, /static. /static.
Should be, yeah, because I'd think that they're using the asset path for that, but like... Okay. Path to the assets folder should be independent on the current script source path or work correctly in different environments.
It worked.
What did? What did you do? Show me. No goddamn way. What?
That makes no sense.
That's so stupid.
What's the other error then?
Oh my god, that's so good. Wow. Okay, so here's the money shot. Bub, what's up? Let's go back and remove that if process statement.
This one?
Yeah. No guarantees it works. What does the error say?
Object is not a function.
Oh god.
Let me do it again because it might not like me changing that.
Yep, NextJS indeed.
God, I wish I just sticked with Next.
Yeah, I feel that.
No, it's a new technology to learn.
Yeah, and you'll get the hang of it.
Object
is not a function.
What line is that on? Oh wait, yes, I remember now. It doesn't tell me.
Right. Object is not a function. Custom elements not define. Where's custom elements coming from? That's global, isn't it? Hang on.
It comes from the custom element registry.
Custom elements. Custom document, style isolation, web component in NextJS.
You might want to search custom element registry.
What happens? Oh, what do you mean custom? Oh no. So what's that doing is that's reading from lib.d.ts. And lib.d.ts is the global built into the browser. So if my theory is correct, that means that if I go into my browser and it takes 18 years to load, and then I take in custom elements, it's like a global object.
Oh.
What happens if you comment out set assets path?
Bad things.
I mean, it won't show the icons anymore, but I think that might fix something. I think that might be where the error is being thrown. Also, we are not doing setup. We're kind of porting and updating some code that we had existing. So I say we, but this is Ethan's project, so all credit for like the cool UI and everything. So
custom elements is not defined.
Okay. That's interesting. I don't like that. Is not defined. Okay, hang on. They're going to tell us it's not the browser. How would you expect it? Live stream today. I need to bring a progress spinner. Blah, 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 blah. Web components, which encapsulates. Property atom spinner. Web components don't have a great SSR. Of course they don't. Since my use case, I only needed to use a web component client side. That does not help. Web components, SSR, NextJS. Nope. It's the same blog that just says don't do it. That is very hard to read. Okay.
Do you have like a doc reader or something?
Ugh. And what do you mean doc reader? Oh, dark.
No, that's
no.
doc reader extensions.
No, I'm a light mode scrub.
Lovely.
None of this is going to be very helpful, is it? They're all going to tell you, use it on the client, but I don't want to use it on the client because I'm doing server-side rendering, god damn it! I'm very cross. Oh, it really is just going to tell you to do it on the client. That's poopy. That's styled components. I don't want to read styled components. I want web components. All right, I would just add the if process dot thing it back. That's unfortunate. I was really hoping Next.js had a solution there. That's poopy. That's very poopy. Oh well. Hey, look, it works! Oh, well, you need to uncomment your thing because your icons. Your screen is so blurry right now. There we go. It's back. Go back to your code. Oh, never mind. You already on. Okay, never mind.
This issue is now. What is this?
I don't know. To be honest, let's take a look. Extra attributes from the server.
I think it might be talking about the extra properties I can put into like SL button and stuff.
Maybe.
Because they do come with extra stuff.
Hang on. Data from server, yes. Looks like the word. Oh. No. I wouldn't worry about it, to be honest. Because basically what it's saying is that there's a mismatch between what the server is sending and what the client is rendering. But you're not going to really face that. So I would ignore it. The one problem we do have, though, is we're expecting it to be hosted on localhost 3000. So does you're hosting via domain, right?
Vassal will probably most likely be it. They'll have a set URL. They'll I'm trying to think. I'm using. Oh, I don't want to show that.
Yeah, don't show that.
It uses a so I need to provide a URL to it.
Mm-hmm.
as an environment variable, which is just the root thing. So
do you know what the environment
technically,
variable is? Like,
yes.
if I pull off stream, will you show me?
Yeah, I can do.
I have you off stream.
So
Okay,
where
so
is it? Here.
next auth
This is what I'm
URL.
saying. But obviously, I would have to change that to the Vercel domain.
And is that changed? Like, so does Vercel set that on build?
Yeah, I can set that in the environment variables on Vercel.
Perfect, because that's what we're gonna need. So copy the name of that environment variable.
Yeah.
And then close the file so I can put you back on stream.
Got it.
Okay. You do have to change something really quickly. I wouldn't put the process env here. I would have conf base URL equals process.env.
Sorry.
so set that to a constant outside of the if statement.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Because I don't know if you have access to process.env inside the variable or browser. I hope you don't. That'd be kind of a big security oversight.
Const
base URL. Yeah, that works for me. Perfect.
Okay. No constructor. Oh. What are you doing, sir?
Undefined. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
I'll give me 8 hours. What is this?
Okay. So what's happening is that we can't access the process.env. Access process env next.js. Trying to destructure won't work. Quote my value. Can I like access any of this, please? You know what it is? We're gonna have to move. Is app.js a component?
No. It's like the main file for everything.
Can you scroll down and show me the code though?
Sure. Do you want me to just go rid of this?
Yeah, you can close that. Okay. So it is a component kind of. Set get initial props. Oh, shit. Okay. So let's scroll up. And we're going to move all of these like custom elements, all this inside of a react.useEffect in app.
Okay, do we just this part you want me to take?
Yeah.
Okay, where are we bringing it?
We're going to put that in app.
Yeah.
Scroll up.
Wait, where?
Line 27 before the return.
27. Oh, I see what you mean.
So, but we do need to have that in a react.useEffect.
Okay. I have that imported already from React. I don't.
And then the dependency array can be an empty string. Or just an empty array, yeah. And then you can remove the if statement. By the way, please let me know if you need to go. We can always pick this up another time. I'm always seeing like the alarms of like, go to bed. I'm like, I'm sorry. And then let's copy that const URL in line 23.
Yep.
And let's move that into the get initial props at the very bottom.
Here.
Yeah. And then...
Do you want me to just pass it through?
Yeah.
Where are we? Here.
And then, truth be told, on line 40, we actually need that in the array. My bad. Perfect.
Okay.
That should work.
I know that might not be.
I think I might know what's going on. But are we still getting an error? Oh, okay, it's building. If we're still getting that error after the build, I know it's super simple solution. So.
Nope.
Cool.
The console, the connection to was interrupted while the page was loading, and that's to the webpack, so that won't matter. Though the static part here isn't working. That's just hot update, so I
Yeah.
don't think any of this will matter in build.
And also, I don't think any of this is relevant to the changes we made. So.
No.
Actually, you know what I wonder? I'm sorry, what?
That should be over here.
Nani?
I think it might be because of the attributes that are being passed in aren't being recognized here. Where is it? Yeah, I don't think this is
Placement
being
left.
seen.
Oh.
Maybe if I try this, wait a minute.
I don't think that. Well, that might work, but that might. I think your buttons might have all broken too.
Why would you say that?
Because the reason why you need wrap custom element is to be able to pass non primitive values to your web component, and if you're passing in a function as an on click, that's a no.
Yeah, button isn't working. What the fuck?
It's because
Sorry, language.
no, you dude, I swear all the time. Hang on. Let's right click on so let's open that up.
The inspect element.
Both open the inspect element and the side nav. And let's go click on that side nav. Let's go inspect it.
Oh wait, this is it. This is it. So that placement isn't there.
Let's.
Over.
Yeah, that placement is not being passed. Why? It's a timing issue, maybe? Oh, you know what? Instead of use effect, let's try use layout effect.
Oh, that's something I've never heard of.
Line 31.
Sorry?
Use layout effect. And then you'll need to import that.
Oh, okay.
So
is that from React?
Yep.
Oh, I already did it. Magic.
Also, let's fix that error because that'll be in an annoying issue if you have to hot reload. So let's go into app.js and let's do const custom L's defined in before line 31. Yeah.
Okay. Const
L's defined.
L's.
Like anything. And then equals use ref false. And then use ref will come from React. And then before set asset path inside of the effect, do if custom else dot value return. And then on line between 45 and 46 at the very end, do custom else dot value equals true. So
This one.
Yeah, there you go. Equals true. The only thing that this is doing is it's basically saying, hey, don't run this more than once. But it's using a use ref, so it doesn't trigger a re-render when you set that value.
Oh, okay.
So we're admittedly getting into pretty complicated React territory. So if nothing else, your recruiter should be impressed. So for the record,
ask me what it does.
I will explain what use layout effect does versus use effect if it works.
It does nothing on the server because it's an effect not being encoded into the server.
There's nothing on the server. Its effect is encoded to the server's render output. That's fine. Should only be used. Yes, that's fine. Oh shit. You ready to make this even more complicated? I just want to fucking see if it works. Okay. Fine. Okay. So, go back to our VS Code. And create a new function above app. Like 29. And we'll call it function custom else. Capital C. It needs to be a function. Okay. And then move that use ref and use layout effect into here. Also, sorry, in the first parameter, we need to accept URL. Capital URL. And we need to still pass it into app as well. So we need it there.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah. And then return null after line. Yep. And then this is actually going to be pretty simple. Inside of your provider, or kind of just anywhere inside of that return statement on line 54, anywhere inside of there, do parentheses or like braces.
Okay.
Process.browser. And then instance of, so little alligator teeth. Sorry, I mean like create an instance of it, not the actual word, the alligator teeth of of custom L's. Remember that's
is this the
right. Yep. And then you'll want to get.
Is it just one or
just one? Yep.
Self-closing.
And you'll want to get rid of the little alligator teeth before it.
You want to get rid of this?
Yep. Awesome. Perfect. Save. And please God work. Because if it doesn't work, it means I did all that for nothing. And it means that I did. That's what it means.
Sounds good.
Please work. Please. No! Object is not extensible. What? What? What do you mean object is not extensible?
What errors are we getting?
Oh! Sorry. Go back to...
Custom defined.
Yeah, sorry. We never passed URL. capital UR, we need to pass it as a property.
Into here.
Yep.
Uh,
Perfect.
like that.
Yes. Okay, hopefully that works. I love your little like C. Is C like a built-in shortcut, or is that something you handled?
Yeah, I changed CLS to C. It makes life so much easier.
How'd you do that?
It's in PowerShell, I believe. It's some sort of profile you have to make. It's really simple if you search it up.
Man, I wrote a 5,000 word article about how to set up Windows for development, and you've got a better setup than I do. I'm like impressed, man. What do you mean object is not extensible?
One.
Yeah, we're getting down. Remember this. We don't even know if this code works though. Let's go back to the thingy, the dingy, the wing wang me. Custom Ls. What's up, Derek? This is not Vue. This is NextJS.
Very bad NextJS.
I mean, the part that I've written, yeah. Why? Object is not extensible, but it do be though. Okay, I think I figured out what it is. Let's do in line 34. Let's do custom Ls and custom Ls. Sorry, you need the custom Ls check first. So we're checking if the object exists. Remove the E. And then add custom Ls into the array.
Yeah. Before or after?
Either way. Also, you're going to laugh at me. I have no idea if it's actually dot value. Because I've been using React for so long now that I think that just might be a ref thing. Or a view thing. Please tell me it's dot value. Please tell me it's dot value. It's dot current! God damn it!
Well played.
Ugh! Okay, sorry, you can get rid of the custom L and because I was just wrong. There we go. You do still need it in that array though. So you just don't need the and there. Yeah. This is why you don't write 18 programming languages in a week, because you forget which one is which.
Yeah, that's true.
Ugh, so frustrating.
Relatable.
You know what's funny? I straight up would not have caught that if it weren't for Derek asking if this was Vue.
Oh wow!
It would have taken me like 18 more years to figure out. Oh hey, idiot! That's not how this works.
Something.
Wait. Now wait a minute.
Compile successfully.
Okay, but let's see.
What?
Hang on.
No error.
No, hang on. Wait. Go click on the button. Remember, that's what we're trying to fix. Yeah! High five! Air high five!
I can't really do much.
Sweet.
I tried hitting the microphone.
Okay, so let's put a pause. Let's explain what happens. Let's commit, and then we'll do one last thing. I know I've kept you super long, and I'm sorry about that. Also, write 20 and add to the confusion. Exactly. Okay, so the difference between use effect and use layout effect is very specific. The only difference is that use effect happens after the initial render, and use layout effect happens before the initial render.
Okay.
That's why you haven't heard of it, is because it's such a niche usage that 99.999% of the times you do not need use layout effect, and more than not needing it, you should not use layout effect. But what we were running into is that for whatever reason, custom the React layout, the thing that helps you pass data to the custom components, right? what happened is that it was passing the data and then the custom element was being defined, which invalidated the existing properties, and that's why it was showing up on the other side.
Oh, right. Okay, I see what you mean.
So our order of operations was flipped. It was passing props, then rendering, then doing this, and we wanted to flip and render first, or custom define the element first, and then pass the props, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we're using use layout effect here, is that it runs before the initial render, so it actually accepts the props now, right? But then you'll notice that we had another problem, right? And this problem was saying, hey, you can't use layout effect on the server, right?
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that use layout effect, the reason they're mentioning that is because oftentimes use layout effect is meant to position things on screen before they render. And NextJS doesn't support that for like the reasons that it works under the hood. So what this is doing is this is only running this code on the client, which is why we did the process.browser and, right? So we're conditionally saying only show this component, which only runs as side effect on the client, not on the server, right?
Okay.
And the reason why we had to do all of this is because the if process.m, that worked, right? Yeah. But the reason why we had to move away from that is because we needed to access the process environment variables, right? Which is the URL that we're using. But URL is only accessible on the server, right?
Yeah.
And the only way for Next.js to have data that is only accessible on the server is the get initial props, right?
Yeah.
So we needed that environment variable, which means that we had to move our code into JSX. Because we're now running in JSX, we needed to run code before the initial render, which means we needed use layout effect. Because we're using use layout effect, Next.js made us only render this component on browser. And that's why we have the use layout effect, the and the URL.
Holy shit, Corbin.
Very, very niche. That was like 8 steps of complicated and niche.
That's so smart.
Yeah. So
fair play to you.
So let's commit this, and then there's one. It's literally going to take us 10 seconds, and if it breaks anything, I'm going to quit my job. That's how confident I am. Also, be careful. You don't want to commit static.
Wow. I see what you mean.
You probably want to move or add to your git ignore static /icons.
Oh, I haven't even saw this. Oh my.
That's what happens during the Webpack stuff. So let's do git ignore.
Ignore.
And then scroll /static /icons. Because you do want to keep some of your static stuff. You just don't want to commit those. There you go. Perfect. Okay. And then super final thing. The problem with having... So if we go back to app.js, right? The problem with having this custom else component here is that it's going to grow, right? And right now it's only about, 20 lines of code, 30 to 20, 29 lines of code. But the minute you start adding more and more, you're going to be like, man, I wish this was in like something, like somewhere more specific, right? Yeah. So let's create a new file. And what I would do is, I don't think I'd have it under component. You can have it under components, to be fair. But just somewhere where we can have like custom elements, right?
Okay, where would you say then?
To be fair, components might work pretty well.
Okay.
I was thinking about it, and actually that's not a terrible place. And let's just call this customls.js. And you could even leave, what I would do is I would leave an explanation of what this file is. Hey, this is the file that, lets us do the custom element definition, You're giving me far too much credit. But
I'm sorry, no. Are you kidding? Who? What is all this came from? Who would have had the idea of passing it down to the server and then straight into the client and then rendering? Who would have thought of that?
Well, I appreciate it, man. So yeah, let's just move this function into there.
Yes.
And then we'll export it.
Return it.
Well, we don't want to return it, but we do want to export it.
Sorry, not return,
yeah.
export.
Yep. Awesome. And then we'll simply import it here. Awesome. And keep in mind, you need to move your imports from line 16 to 22, or sorry, 13 to 22, because those need to be in custom els.js.
Good point.
And there you go.
Okay, and then that should be correct then.
Yep.
It's still
yep.
getting imported.
Yeah, everything looks good. So we'll do one last build to make sure that everything works, and then you, my good sir, have a very clean and functional code base.
I certainly do. And that's all because of my great friend Corbin.
Anytime, Matt. Well, it's not all because of me. You did a lot of really good work on your own. I just did a little bit of code review. That's all.
A little bit, yeah. Just a little bit.
So.
Breaking code.
Hey, look, we broke everything. It's because we're not. Import. Yeah, we're just not importing those two things. So.
Take you.
I was like, wait a minute, hang on, how'd we break everything now? Impressive. Like, all right, that's it. Everyone go home now. So, I'm so sorry this took so much longer than I had originally thought it would.
No, it's absolutely fine. I really appreciate you sticking around this long.
Yeah, of course. I just hope I didn't like completely destroy your sleep schedule.
Oh no, it's completely destroyed a newer.
I relate to that strongly. There we go.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
Fantastic.
That is fine.
I still think it's funny that we have to do /assets/assets. I think that's hilarious.
That is quite funny.
So awesome.
Lovely.
If you end up running into any issues, I'm guessing, total guess here, but I think we might actually run into an issue during build. But that's, again, a kind of a guess. So if you do, let me know, and you and I can touch on that. And I think it'll only take us, 5 minutes. So.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Well, hey, man.
Right, well, I really appreciate you doing this with me.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? It's about 2 hours on the stream, so I'm actually going to call that a stream. So chat, thank you so much for joining us. Ethan, thank you so much for being on and being awesome. And then
fixing my problem.
Of course, man. All right, gang. Well, I will catch you all next time. Bye.
Bye, chat.